My name is Impala J from Impala Chambers. Our chairman for Impala Car Rentals. Thank you all for coming to this press brief. Our main concern is to give clarification concerning the case of Tawanda Mcheyiwa, what we are doing. Everyone is aware that there is a car which we confirmed that it's ours, which was circulating in the social media in the case of abduction of one Tawanda Mcheyiwa. And that led to us to give a press statement, our initial press statement which we gave. I believe everyone saw that press statement. And the gist of that press statement was that we are ready and we want to assist in any manner to the law enforcement agency so that Tawanda may get the justice which he deserves. That was our press statement's gist. A follow-up to that, our Mr. Thompson Dondo, who is the CEO of this company, also went to Brissett police station. The reason being that he wanted to know if he can make a police report, or what was the best way to clear Impala in this mess. And he was advised that he is not a complainant, and if there's need, they will call him. A follow-up to that, we were then approached by the police from Law and Order. There is a matter which was reported in Bulawayo, and the complainant is Tawanda Mcheyiwa, and the offense was kidnapping. So the police wanted information from our side. What information is this? The information was the file concerning the vehicle in question, concerning the time frame which was asked. And to fulfill our promise which we undertook on our initial press statement, the file was given to the police. And a notice of seizure was given to us to confirm that that file was taken by the police as a follow-up to the complaint which was made in Bulawayo. There was a lot of calls from clients. Some of the clients are big clients who also do human rights defending. From individuals, as you were all aware that Impala Car Rentals is a company which is also beyond our borders. So from all walks of life, we were being called to clarify what is happening, or what is it that you are doing. I want it to be on record that according to us, Mcheyiwa took two methods. What do I mean? He chose to go the criminal way by reporting his matter. He also chose to go the civil way by doing an application which we call Anton Pillar, and he got a court order, a provisional court order. On that Anton Pillar, the funny thing about it is you don't advise the other party about it. So we were surprised after already we gave the police the documents. There was sheriff here who requested for the same documents. But on that court order, there was also a part of the tracking system, which the sheriff was requested to get from us. Unfortunately, I want to elaborate on that because that's the main question which people are asking. People are saying Impala are being stubborn. People, Impala are frustrating the processes because they don't want to release the documents or the tracking system. When Sheriff came to this place, it was after the police had already collected the documents in question. And the Sheriff went on to check the vehicle in question, and we advised the Sheriff that that motor vehicle was hired from a specific person. It was outsourced from another person. So, as for the trackers, that motor vehicle didn't have a track. We wrote a letter to the Sheriff also confirming the same position, that the documents were seized by the police, and we gave the Sheriff an annexure to that effect. And I saw those documents were circulating also on social media. So, to us, the question of, are you going to release those documents? Or the question of, is the tracker or the tracking system going to be released, was answered. And we are going to repeat this. The information concerning that vehicle was given to the police upon the complaint which was made by the victim in Bulawayo. And we believed by so doing, we were doing justice to the victim as well as to the world at large. There is also a question which is being put to us as to the confirmation of the provisional order which I'm talking about. There is an issue where it's being said, why did you go on to oppose that application which is before the courts? I want to put it straight to the world. The notice of opposition is only done when you are not in agreement with the amendments being made in the application. So when there's an application and there's a founding affidavit which is saying something which you are not in agreement with, we oppose to that. We tell the court the correct position of that statement. For instance, with me here is a purported press statement which was attached by Mr. Wanda, in his founding affidavit to say, actually his application is on that press statement. But to us, that press statement is actually sarcasm. It's actually ironic. I want to show the media here. This is the statement they are talking about. This is the statement which they are relying with. It's said here it's Impala Car Rental. Here it's Impala Car Rental. There's I think it's a Kate which is here. As you all know that we use this animal. This is the Impala which we talk about. Down there it says every eye is a evil one. This is the statement which they annexed in their application to say this is the official statement from Impala. This is wrong. This is the application. You see. Case number is 1489 of 20. Bulawayo. So, we can't keep quiet and say we are consenting to that order when we all know that this is wrong information. This is wrong information. We have to tell the court that this is wrong. That's why we opposed. But the world is not aware of this. Further to that, we opposed. Why? Because we were not in possession of the so-called documents. And one element which is also required for us to give to the court is whether or not we are in possession of those documents. So if we are not in possession of those documents, we have to advise the court through the notice of opposition that we don't have those documents. And we have to clarify where those documents are, if ever you gave it to anybody. And we did. Even in our notice of opposition, we clarified. Even in our letter to the sheriff, we clarified where those documents are. And there are several issues which come into play if documents are taken by the police. They are now exhibits. What happens to exhibits? Exhibits are protected. The moment you want us to now comment on those exhibits or to give it to the public, it means somehow we are now endangering the administration of justice, because we are now playing a part where investigation is taking place. So we affect or we prejudice what the police are doing. So at the end of the day, people may not know, why are we not divulging this information if ever there is such information, especially when it's now in the hands of the police. We don't want to be found wanting tomorrow. Also, we are put in a precarious position. If you read this application, you hear that Mchewa wants this document to come after us. So maybe it's to sue us for whatever. We don't know the reason why they would want to sue us. But you should also take into consideration such vehemence. There is also fear from our side that anyone, be it the hire of the vehicle, can also come after us to sue us. Let's not forget that this matters before the police, this matters before the courts. Let's assume that very person whom we divulge now is cleared by the courts, but we gave to the public his name without his consent. What will happen to us as a company? Obviously, we are giving loopholes for somebody to claim millions from us. So there are several interests which we also need to protect in this sensitive matter. There is this issue also of my brother Singadzor from Zinasu. I think whenever you hear his name, there is also Impala must fall. We never received any letter or any communication as Impala from Zinasu. I was once a student from the University of Zimbabwe. I really appreciate the work of those guys. They represent students, which is good. But to then say, Impala, you are not doing justice to the case of Mchewa, I think it's unfair. Especially when you did not come to us or maybe have a meeting with us to know what is happening behind the scenes, or to know what steps we took in order to make sure that we are also playing our part as Impala Car Rental. To come with violence or to come with a demonstration, for sure, I don't want to lie, anyone who puts a threat to us, what do we do? The only thing which we can do, because we don't have guns, we don't have mafia, we don't have giants to combat violence, but what we can do is to go to the police and indicate to them that there's a threat to us. And people will also say, you are answerable. You understand where I'm coming from? So at the end of the day, we don't want to fight with anyone. We are a law-abiding company. As we have enunciated before, that if law enforcement agents want anything to do with this case, we will assist. Let's not forget that this is a matter which needs to be tried, and maybe someone be convicted or not convicted. So at this moment in time, it doesn't mean that the motor vehicle in question was used. It's something which needs to be tested by the relevant court. So for people then to say Impala must fall because maybe our car was used, it's actually an allegation. It's not like it was used per se, but it's an allegation. And I think those who attended maybe criminal session in terms of law will agree with me that there is a lot of work to be done. And there's a lot of work to be done by the police. You need to link that car with the abduction per se. And we can't go around and say that car which was used for abduction is ours. We are claiming that the car which was on the CCTV footage is ours, because for sure it's ours. As to what happened in Bulawayo, we don't know. We will leave that to the courts. We will leave that to the police to do their investigation. So people should also have kids' glove towards us. People should know that we are not a mafia company. I think we all know the owner of this company, Mr. Thompson Bond. Go and check his history. For the past 13 years, this company was doing a lot of things in terms of showbiz. There are a lot of young musicians who were assisted by this company. There are a lot of people, even in this era of COVID, who were being assisted when things were tight by this company. To then now say just because your car was part of the cars maybe which was seen on the CCTV footage, hence you should suffer. I think that's unfair, especially if you are brothers and sisters of Zimbabwe. We also want to highlight on the aspect of what is before the courts. I've advised you that Mucheiwa took two ways of doing his things. We believe that the police and Mucheiwa, in any manner they are going to get the documents which we gave them, because this is a matter which he reported. And to put a fight to us right now is unfair. It's unfair. So considering what I have highlighted, I just wanted to clarify on what we did and what was happening behind the scenes. This is what was happening. We tried to do everything to assist Mucheiwa. And even now, if we get those papers, that is, if we are going to get those papers in any manner, we will assist him. But now our hands are tied because the police are doing their job. And let's give them the opportunity to do their job. Then we see how it goes. I think in terms of putting across what was happening in Impala, that's all.